I'm Sarah Colvin. I'm here today with Joe Battaglia. He is the Commissioner of Hockey for Hockey East. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Joe. What do you do as the Commissioner of Hockey East?
We've got two leagues. We have a men's league and a women's league, 10 schools, all in New England, playing men's hockey, 8 in the women's conference. We have a small office. Kathy Winters is my assistant, and Pete Soros does public relations. But we basically run these two conferences from scheduling games, assigning referees, getting games on television, running tournaments, which is why we're here. So I've been doing this my whole adult life, really, 15 years. First with the ECAC, which is based in Centerville, and where I got my start, where a lot of us got our start. And now this is my 15th season with Hockey East.
Great. And the ECAC, of course, based here in Centerville. I was going to ask you about that. So you have some ties here to Cape Cod. Where are you based now?
We're in Wakefield, Massachusetts, but I have very fond memories of I worked out of my house, so I didn't live on the Cape when I was down here. But you know, it's kind of ironic for me to be organizing a hockey tournament on the Cape, because all those years we probably organized from the Cape maybe 40 or 50 different tournaments for men's and women's college hockey at all divisions.
So, Joe, is this the first time Hockey East is going to be on the Cape?
Yeah, this is a big deal for us. I mean, this is our 10th anniversary season, and you know, we feel we're at or near the top of the pyramid in college hockey for women. And to bring this event off campus is it's unique. It's a bit of a challenge for us, but we always want to have a special event for these athletes. And you know, we're aware of the facility in Hyannis. We've got some friends at the Chamber of Commerce who have done a great job in helping us get our feet in the ground and set this up. We were aware that Colgate University and West Point have had some successful Division I men's games here. We also had some success bringing a regular season game south of Boston to the Bog in Kingston. Northeastern University and Providence College now 2 years in a row have played and drawn about 1,000 people to the game. And you know, women's hockey on the ice is a great product. It hasn't caught the attention of a lot of fans, so our athletes don't always get a chance to play in front of large crowds, and we're hoping to change that with this event.
Well, we know from hearing from our local hockey players as well as from the professional hockey players, it really does matter to have that crowd there and really to be supporting them. So of course you're hoping for a large crowd here at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center when the tournament takes place this March.
Yeah, you know, the games are Saturday and Sunday, March 3rd and 4th, and you know, we want the crowd for the athletes, for that environment, because they're going to crowd a champion, and the winner gets an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. But we're also aware of the girls and the women that play hockey. My wife's an adult women hockey player. At least that's what she tells me. She's going twice a week when she's going out of the house. But we know the girls that are playing here. You know, Brian Eastman's a friend of mine who is a coaching director for the Cape Cod Waves, and they've got the only program on the Cape just devoted to girls hockey. We want to show these young girls that are playing, you know, where they can go, you know, to be inspired to go play college hockey, maybe to play for some of the teams in Hockey East. I think it's good for them. It's good for us if we can get local kids to come onto our programs. And you know, you never know what young girl is going to be in the stands watching a moment in a game, being here in Hyannis, and that one moment is something where they set their goal of what they want to do when they get older.
And really, for a long time, ice hockey was not available to women, especially on a college and even a further level. So talk to me a little bit about, in your experience with the Hockey East, how that's changed. Has there always been a women's league in Hockey East as long as you've been involved?
Well, no. You know, the men's league is in its 28th season, and you know, I first was introduced to the college game. I was the first head coach at Harvard University back in the late 70s, and Harvard was actually late to getting into that, at least compared to some of the other Ivy League colleges. But I know a lot of women who, you know, I'm half serious, half joking about my wife playing, but a lot of the older women, they're getting the chance to get out there and enjoy what we all have enjoyed about playing hockey, because they didn't have that opportunity when they were younger. But 10 years ago, you know, Hockey East decided to form a league. At one point, all the women's hockey in the East, at least at the college level, was either governed by the Ivy League or by the ECAC. And just as men's hockey broke away and created a couple of leagues back in the mid-'80s, the women started 10 years ago. And the one thing we haven't gotten is our own national champion yet, but we're hoping that for one of the teams coming out of this tournament, we might have our first national champion. It would be a nice way to crown 10 years of hockey. And Boston College and Northeastern University are our top two ranked teams right now. In all likelihood, will be playing here on that weekend, and they're ranked, I think, 5th and 6th or 5th and 7th in the country. So we're in the mix. We hope they use this as a springboard to come out of the tournament here and go on to some national championship play.
Sure. So, Joe, tell me a little bit more about the tournament itself. Obviously, as you mentioned, we don't know who exactly is going to be playing in it, but this is the Hockey East Championship. So whoever wins this tournament wins the division. As you said, we know possibly the teams that will going to be playing it. Will it just be 2 teams? Will there be more than 2
4
teams?
teams.
4 teams.
We're an 8-team conference, and our last 2 teams don't qualify for the postseason. So the top 6 will play, number 1 and number 2. And as I say, it's always dangerous to try to predict, but Northeastern and BC are tied for first place right now, and a pretty good lead on the pack. So in all likelihood, those are 2 of the teams. They'll play in separate games. But the next 4 teams will play off the weekend before on their campuses. And right now, it would be Boston University, University of Maine, Providence, and then that last spot is up for grabs. So 2 winners come out of the play on that last weekend in February, and they'll match up again in all likelihood against BC and Northeastern. The games are 12:30 and 3:30 on Saturday the 3rd, and the championship game is Sunday at 1 o'clock. And the New England Sports Network, NESN, will be coming down here to tape delay the game after a Red Sox spring training game, so people have the chance to watch the game live, and then go home and watch it again on television.
Excellent. And really, I think that's good to let our viewers know is that there isn't just one game that's being played. It's several games, so you have a number of different opportunities to come and watch these players come play here.
Right. The two games on Saturday are on 1 ticket, and the tickets are available at the community center, though there might be walk-up sales, but we're hoping those tickets go before the day of the game, so people want to get them a little bit ahead of time.
Exactly. And really, with teams potentially coming from as far away as Maine, it's great to know that we'll have so many people coming here and viewing our facility here in Barnstable at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. What kind of a crowd are you expecting? How are you hoping people
We want to sell it out. I mean, we'd like to see 1,000 people here to watch our championship. We think the athletes deserve it. We think the people in the area will support it when they understand that they're looking at future Olympic hockey players. And in some cases, Boston University's team has 2 gold medal winners from the last Olympics who won their gold medal at our expense, beating the United States. But one of their players got a hat trick against the U.S. in that championship game. So that's the level of play you're going to see. And I think some of our better players this year are actually some of our younger players. Northeastern has a young woman named Kendall Coyne, who's just a freshman. Boston College has a player named Alex Carpenter, whose dad, Bobby Carpenter, played for the Boston Bruins back in the late 80s, early 90s. So there are some familiar names, and these are names that people are going to know that follow the sport when the next Olympic Games come around.
Indeed. Now, ice hockey, of course, is typically a rather violent game. Are the rules different for women's hockey as opposed to men's hockey?
We like to say it's a physical game, not a violent game. But
physical, okay, that works. But
actually, the rules for women's ice hockey are a little bit different, and they don't allow body checking as we understand body checking, but anybody that's seen the game, it's not a delicate game. I mean, there is contact. I think there are a lot of people, myself included, who think it's a better game to watch than the men's game a lot of times because it's controlled contact. It gives them a chance to show off their skill. I think, like the game I played back in the 70s, the best players, I think, stand out a little bit more in the women's game than they do in the men's game. There's a bit of a gap between the best player on the team and the third line or fourth line player. And so when you come, it doesn't take you very long to watch 5 or 10 minutes of the game and identify 1 or 2 players that seem to be better than everybody else, and those are the ones you want to see hop over the boards for the next shift. So there is contact, but it's not a rough game. I think it's a beautiful game, and there's a lot of skill on display, and they have the time to show the skill.
Great. And so just one more time for our viewers who may want to get tickets now that they've heard how exciting this game is going to be. When is it taking place, and what should people do if they want to come? Sure.
The tickets are, I think, $8 a day for the 2 games on Saturday, March 3rd, the championship game on Sunday the 4th. You can get tickets at the community center here in Hyannis. In all likelihood, there may be some tickets on the day of the game, but as we're saying, if you want to make sure you're there to see the action, you should probably come by a little bit earlier to make sure you get your tickets.
Great. Well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to speak with you, and we'll see you here at the HYCC in March.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.